Hey, welcome back to the Driven to Compete channel. If this is your first time on the channel, please hit that subscribe button and the bell so you can stay up to date on all my videos. This is a follow-up to my first video on my Pontiac 326. I blew it up. Well, I blew a head gasket. I didn't blow it up, so to speak, but yeah, I popped the head gasket, and actually I think I lifted the head on it. So let me show you what I found. So there are the heads, and you can see the one that was of concern was right here, and it looks like it failed. And we were looking at the gasket trying to determine where we think it failed, and we were looking at it and we think it failed right here in that area. But as you can tell, it's not hard to be able to tell which one was wet and which one had coolant in it. So there you have it. I'm going to tell you a story here as we're going through here. So I talked to Butler Performance today, and if you're a Pontiac guy, they are probably the Pontiac guys to deal with. And I gave them a heads up and I said, hey, this is what I think I want to do. And I explained to them what I wanted to do, and they said, well, why don't you talk to us about what your engine build is? And I said, well, it's a 326. I said, it's been bored out 60 thousandths. And I said, basically, it's a pretty much, that's it, you know, stock with, oh, I said I have a set of heads on it. I said they're number 66 Pontiac heads. And of course, for those of you that don't know about Pontiac heads, Pontiacs are pretty cool. Let me spin one around here for you, because their heads are all marked in the center here, and it's hard to see it here because of how they get so hot that they cook everything off here. So I've seen guys at shows paint the heads with header paint and make them a different color than the Pontiac color. But anyway, they're 66s, which is why they're so big. These would have came on a 455 back in the early to mid 70s. 455, most likely in a GTO, and they are 110cc heads. And just to give you a better perspective, right, let me give you that idea. These are what they call an open chamber, you know, more of a modern design. They're opened up. And I'll walk you back and I'll show you what a closed design would have been that came on the car originally. Okay, so these are the heads that would have came on the car originally. These are 140 heads. They're clearly marked there. And, you know, they're what they called a closed chamber. As you can see, a different design. So these are earlier design. I think Pontiac stopped that type of a head design in 67 was the last year for it, along with the 326. And then they came out with the 350. Slightly different head and such on them. And I think they flowed better. But as you can see here, there's not a lot of room. Pretty big exhaust and intake valves on them. But, you know, here's the real reason why I didn't bother with them. First of all, because to get them to flow, you'd have to, there's not a lot of material there to really work. So I just took them off the car, and I could have bagged them, and I didn't. I just kind of sat them here because, you know, if you do these over, you're going to have somebody hot tank them, go through them anyway. So, I mean, I just left them sit here. But that gives you an idea of what I'm referring to. And of course, these would be considered, okay, so these are what they call D port as well, because they look like a D really. And that's what I replaced them with as well, and I'll show you that. Here we are, we're back to those original heads, and like I said to you, you know, you want to look at the design of the exhaust. And that really kind of gives you an idea when they talk about D port versus round and such, you know. And so yeah, so I've got something in the works. I don't want to talk about it at this moment. I don't want to spoil the surprise for you. I also want to take the trans, and I want to have that checked out, because I occasionally, under hard acceleration, first to second, didn't always want to let you upshift into second, sometimes into third as well. And, you know, if you guys don't know these, this is a Muncie, and there's a serial number, multiple serial numbers on these. And right there, you can run that number. There's a number right there. And of course, there's a number back here as well. There's numbers on it that will tell you what you have. This is an M20, so this is what they call a wide ratio. The longer throws, bigger distance between the gears. So with my dad had a big block Camaro 68, and that had what they called an M21 in it. That was a close ratio. And then they made an M22, which they called their rock crusher. So I had this tranny apart at one point. My grandfather and I worked on this tranny, and it really was working well for me. And it started to develop an issue. I'm really not sure what's going on. So we're going to take that and get that checked out as well. But there you have it. It's a work in progress. Oh, I wanted to point out something else to you guys too, because my buddy Ray was up here and he's like, "Oh my God, this is terrible." This is typical Pontiac castings. They're rough. Some machine shops will take the time. They'll machine these all out. You know, in an attempt to improve oil flow. But again, this is all standard stuff. You know, it's what you get back in the day. I'm covering that up. Try to keep as clean as I can. But you know, you like right here. I mean, look how rough that is. And I think that while I have it apart, I'm going to degrease it really good. I may grind some of this down so you don't cut yourself on it in the future. I'm going to repaint the motor, clean it up, make it look like new. You know, so you know, keep checking back. If you know somebody that's a Pontiac guru and you see the video, please share it with them. As always, I welcome your comments. I am by no means a Pontiac guru here. I just love them. I've always been a Pontiac guy. You know, from day one, I've always owned and driven a Pontiac of some type. I've had quite a few over the years. This one I've held on to since '94. Can you believe that? I bought it with, I think, 68,000 miles on it. It's something we're around 92 right now or something like that. So I've driven the car, but I've had it for a while. And this is not the first time I pulled the motor out, but I'm going to do something. I'm excited. I don't want to share it quite yet. Next video, I'll tell you what I'm going to do to this car. I think, unless I get a lot of comments from my first video with you guys kind of like, you know, saying, hey, do this, maybe I'll do that then. You know what I mean? So my mind's not 100% made up. But anyway, enough said. And until next time, driven to compete, watch, like, subscribe.